skier, adventurer, and soon-to-be astronaut. Quite a catalog there. In seat number 2 is Nicolina Elric, a philanthropist, entrepreneur, and advocate for STEAM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, the Arts, and Mathematics. She's dedicated her life to mentoring aspiring entrepreneurs. She's a spirited explorer and has a lifelong passion for aviation. She's a certified helicopter pilot, and boy, she's going a little bit higher, and we'll have quite a beautiful view today.
She's going to have a spectacular view. Let's keep on going. Seat number 3, we've got Eugene Grin. He was born in Ukraine and emigrated to the U.S. in the late 70s to start his career in real estate and finance. He lives in upstate New York as a passionate traveler, and let me tell you, he's going to add a pretty cool destination. I was going to say to his passport, but not really to his passport, I guess.
We need to offer stamps.
We need to get on that stamp game. Good idea, Jackie. All right, seat number 4, Professor Rob Furl. We learned about him just a moment ago. He's the director of the Astreus Space Institute at University of Florida. He and his team have the space plant at the Space Plants Lab have flown 5 experiments on New Shepard already. So he is a veteran of the New Shepard program, but all of this is in an effort to study how living organisms respond to extreme conditions. Can't wait to see how that research comes out today.
That is one research paper I will be reading. I'm marking it now.
Do that.
I'm marking it now. In seat number 5, we have Carson Kitchen. She's poised to make history today as the youngest woman ever to cross the Kármán line. She's a senior at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and earlier this year, she founded Orbitel, an incredible initiative to encourage young women and girls to pursue careers in the space industry. Fun fact about Carson, she is part of a space family and is the daughter of another New Shepard astronaut, Jim Kitchen.
Very close-knit family. What's that expression? A family that goes to space together, stays together.
For sure.
Isn't that totally? That's totally how that expression goes.
That's definitely
No, but we actually have been very fortunate to fly Laura Shepard, of course, daughter of Alan Shepard, our namesake for the New Shepard program, but also Cameron and Lane Bess went together.
And Jeff and Mark Bezos.
And Jeff and Mark Bezos.
Actually,
that's a really good point.
It's a family affair.
So last but not least, in seat number 6 is Dr. Iman Jahangir. Iman is a cardiologist. Was made possible by Moondao, an organization whose mission is to accelerate a multiplanetary future. So that's our crew today, 6 incredible people who are ready for the ride of their life. All right, we are at T-minus 16 minutes and 45 seconds to go until our 26th mission of the New Shepard program, the 8th human space flight in our program, and it is really, as we were talking about the evolution of the New Shepard program. It is just fantastic to see as we continue to open doors for more people in the ride of their life. Okay. We are at T-minus 16 minutes to go until launch. We've got our 6 astronauts that are in the crew capsule, and they are buckled in. We've gone through our Capcom checks. And why don't we send it over to the rocket for a moment as we listen in and get ready for New Shepard's launch to space today. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for New Shepard's 26th mission to space and back, our 8th human space flight. We've got astronauts number 38 through 43 of the New Shepard program, all buckled in and ready to go for their flight to space today. Now, talking about this crew made their very own postcards. We've talked about this postcard program for the Club for the Future. That's our nonprofit. So as part of the tradition, they made their own postcards that will fly to space. Every time we fly astronauts, each one of them creates their own postcard to take with them. We love this. You get to see the artistic side of them. There's Nicolina. These people tend to be a lot better astronauts than I am. A lot better artists than I am. So I'm always a little bit jealous. Now, the reason why we fly these postcards is we want to make space more accessible, primarily to students. Again, this is through our Club for the Future program. We want to see kids around the world get engaged.
Just watching the launch.
Engineering, arts, and math.
To make the Club for the Future program even more accessible, we recently launched an online way for students to draw digital postcards and send their art to space on New Shepard. If you want to participate in this program to create some inspiring art that literally goes to space, this is a great way to jump in. Anyone can do it. It's free. It's easy. It's just super fun. Go ahead to draw.clubforthefuture.org and you can sketch your idea from the app to space.
I love it. There's a lot to be said for that tangible card that's gone to space. But I also love how we're opening up more broadly so that anybody around the world can send something to space and back. Really inspiring. I wish I had that program when I was growing up.
Me too. And things are also ramping up for our initiative with Space for All, our nonprofit Club for the Future, and its elite partners, Women in Aerospace, AIAA, and the Space Foundation, are rolling out a multi-year campaign that will help educate and inform audiences about the why. Why do we go to space? What are the benefits? This campaign is really special because it aligns with the White House Interagency Roadmap. And the goal of that is to increase space-related STEAM education for all children, no matter who they are, where they're from. You know, Ariane, as this campaign begins to unfold, we're going to see the collective power of these, space super organizations coming together for good. So stay tuned for more Space for All activities. It's going to be exciting.
It's great to see other, lack of a better term, like-minded organizations, as you said, pulling their superpowers together to open up space for the next generation. We're building the road. They're going to have to build on top of it in space. Okay, we're at T-minus 12 minutes to go until launch. Let's take a look at the flight profile of what these the astronauts are going to be flying today on New Shepard.
Right, and it's a suborbital vehicle, as we've discussed, which is just a fantastic way to experience space because, we've said it again and again, but it's so accessible. It's open to everyone, not just traditional professional astronauts. It's a straight up, straight down flight path, about 15 minutes. So again, for everyday people in smaller organizations and universities to fly payloads and experiment at a smaller scale than, like you said, going to the International Space Station, which is amazing, but it's just a much bigger undertaking. And, this way you can get your results back the same day you launch them to space. You can go to space on a 15-minute journey. Again, just everyday people.
It's beautiful, clean G's, simple up, simple back down over the Kármán line. Let's check out this video and learn a little bit more.
7, 6.
New Shepard's mission
5,
begins when the
4,
countdown clock reaches 0.
2, 1, 0.
At this point, the engine will start and the rocket will lift off of the pad. It will continue under the boost phase for about 2.5 minutes until main engine cutoff. 20 seconds later, the crew capsule will separate from the booster and the astronauts will unharness and enjoy 0G. The crew capsule will continue past the Kármán line to an ultimate apogee of 350,000 feet, or 100 kilometers. The booster will autonomously land on the landing pad, ready to be prepped for its next flight. Around 3.5 minutes after separation, the crew capsule will begin to re-enter Earth's atmosphere. Parachutes will deploy around an altitude of 7,000 feet, or 2,100 meters, providing a nice, slow descent back to Earth. After landing, astronauts exit the capsule and are greeted by the Blue Origin ground crew, family, and friends to celebrate and reflect on their flight. New Shepard, an adventure unlike anything on Earth.
Go, no go for terminal count and launch. Booster. Go. Capsule.
Go.
Ground.
Go.
Safety.
Go.
Capcom.
Go.
Engineering. Go. And flight is go. With that, New Shepard is go for launch. Booster, commence terminal count. We'll go flight. Controllers, drop UHF voice.
Excellent! 8 minutes, guys. 9 minutes. Kubo's chill. My heart is definitely racing, but I am very happy.
And booster, I see all 3s for trajectory injects.
All right, and you heard it there, our go, no go poll. We are go for launch. You also heard again, our astronauts are in there. They are ready to rock and roll.
It's game on, and I hear some excited cheers from inside. It is truly go time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we sit here at the desk and we've got all this adrenaline. I can't imagine being in that capsule right now. Is their dreams, they're all coming down to this one moment. Super exciting. Okay, we're at T-minus 8 minutes ago until launch for New Shepard's 26th mission, our 8 human space flight. Let's talk about the vehicle carrying those 6 astronauts up, our crew capsule called the RSS First Step. Jackie, we love a good astronaut in the space industry. You wanna talk us through that name?
I'm happy to, and this probably won't even be the last acronym today.
No.
We love acronyms in space. RSS means reusable spaceship. This capsule in today's flight has already flown to space and back 9 times. We achieve our long-term vision by building reusable vehicles. Fun trivia fact for those playing along, 99% of New Shepard's dry mass is reused, everything from the crew capsule to the booster to the engines and parachutes. Our vehicle, New Shepard, is currently designed for 25 missions, but we are striving to quadruple that number as the program continues.
I'm taking that 99% number to pub trivia night on Tuesday. I'll see you there. Non-alcoholic beer for everybody. It's okay. It's okay. But seriously, getting back to that number of 99% and 25 usable, 25 flights on the reusable booster, trying to quadruple that. Reusability is so important. Not only does it reduce the cost of access to space and space travel, but it also significantly reduces the waste. It's just much kinder. Our vision is millions of people living and working in space for the benefit of Earth. So we got to make sure that our program also fits into that vision.
So continuing the trivia facts to that end, New Shepard's engine is fueled by a highly efficient combination of liquid oxygen and hydrogen. So during the flight, the only byproduct of that, again, maybe going to chemistry now, not biology, but the byproduct of that is water vapor.
Yeah, so for all of you at home today, when you see that white plume coming out of the base of the rocket, that will be steam.
Right.
And so it's a much cleaner engine than a lot of the traditional rocket engines that have been used in the past. Okay, we're at T-minus 6 minutes to go until launch. We've got some really cool footage here from the training that our astronauts went through over the last couple of days. So our astronauts joined us about 3 days ago down in West Texas, and then they spend 2 days going through extensive training. So we go through ingress, how do you get into the rocket, egress, how do you get out of your seats and your harnesses, but also out of the capsule itself. We go through emergency procedures. We want to make sure that our team feels comfortable if anything were to happen.
And it preps you for those sights and sounds, right? A booster is an active machine, right, that you're on.
It's alive.
Right, and so those sights and sounds are a really important part of training that they're being prepared for.
So I am, thank my lucky stars, while I have not been an astronaut yet,
Yet is the operative word there.
Is the operative word there. I have gone through the entire New Shepard training program, the hospitality program. Next time, girl, you can come with me. But it by the end, basically, I did everything minus get into the capsule and go to space and back. And by the end of it, I felt so comfortable, like I could go. And you get, as you said, comfortable with the vehicle, but then also you get to meet the team, not only your crew member 7s that we've talked extensively about, but also the designers, the operators. You go to mission control, you go to the barn, which is where we keep and maintain the vehicles. This is, there's a lot of thought that has been put into that training program. And, I can't give enough kudos to the entire team, also to the crew member 7s that are kind of the face of it as well. There's a really good balance of making sure you've got enough information, but you also know that, you don't need to know everything that's going on, behind the scenes. I'm happy to tell you, but you don't need all that. We want you to feel comfortable so you can also just lay back, enjoy the flight.
And in Rob's case, do your science.
And in Rob's case, do your science. No, that's a really good point. Okay, we're at T-minus 3.5 minutes to go until this flight. Super excited. Again, there's nothing like a rocket launch and a countdown clock to get you going in the middle of the week at, 3 o'clock in the morning. But at T-minus 2 minutes here, what we're going to see is the vehicle is going to go into its built-in test. So what we call our bit checks. But those are actually driven by the vehicle itself. So it's a fully autonomous vehicle from T-minus 2 minutes through the launch and landing. Of course, we've got our team, as you've seen there on the on your screen in mission control. They've got their eyes glued to their screens, making sure that everything is within bounds. But the vehicle is driving itself. And so what we're going to see here in a minute, the most visible part of it, the fins at the base of the vehicle, those are going to gimbal back and forth. There are 4 of those fins, 1 on each quadrant. And then you will also see the nozzle. It's kind of hidden in your screen right there. Hopefully we'll get a peek. Also will gimbal back and forth. Those 2 subsystems work together in conjunction to guide the vehicle up. But as it's a reusable rocket, it will fly back down to its landing pad, just 2 miles north from which it takes off. And it's a really beautiful vehicle to watch it work in real life. And so that is what we're about to check out here. Let's tune into the rocket as she gets ready for her 26th mission of this program, the 8th human spaceflight. There you go. You see those aft fins moving back and forth. You see 2 out of the 4 waiting for the engine gimbal. There you go, peeking out bottom left of your screen. Jackie, this rocket is looking good and ready for launch this morning. You see the gantry has retracted. These astronauts are going to space. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our mission control team. Godspeed, New Shepard, and enjoy the flight, astronauts. See you when you get home.
T-minus 10,
10, 9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Just start. 2, 1. Shepard has cleared the tower.
And there she goes. New Shepard has cleared the tower on its way to space. With its crew of 6, they are screaming up towards the Kármán line. You can see the speedometer on your bottom left there, as well as the altimeter. And we're going to follow along with the flight on the left side of your screen with those milestones. First one coming up here is Max Q. Max Q has been confirmed. Maximum dynamic pressure. It's when the forces on the vehicle between the atmosphere and the speed are at our maximum. We've punched right through it. As well as punched through that layer of clouds, the vehicle continues on its upward ascent towards space. If you are just joining us, we've had a clean liftoff of New Shepard's 26th flight in this program. We are witnessing the 8th human space flight of New Shepard. We have astronauts 38 through 43 on the vehicle on its way to space. Our next milestone here is main engine cutoff. And what we'll witness is the speed will start to come down, but the altitude will continue to go up. When the speed hits 0, it means we have hit apogee. And Jackie, I think one of the other cool part of this program is that you see that kind of slight little hot dog roll we got going on of the rocket. We just want to give, it's really is just to give the astronauts each a 360-degree view as they're going up, which is so cool. All right, main engine cutoff and separation have been confirmed. And Jackie, this is when our astronauts are feeling 0G. Dr. Rob Furl is going to start his experiments up there in the cabin.
Hopefully after a little time to look out the window.
Yeah,
pre-experimentation.
I would totally steal at least a couple of looks out of those big, gorgeous windows. And again, we're coming up on apogee. You see that the speed is reducing. When it hits 0, that's when we've hit. That is when we've hit apogee. At this point, we are well over the Kármán line, about 328,000 or 100 kilometers, 328,000 feet or 100 kilometers up. And there it is, apogee. About 340,000 feet. Jackie, can you imagine the view?
I was talking about being jealous of your astronaut training, but I'm more jealous of them right now.
You know, they're unbuckled at the moment. They're turning their somersaults. They are soaking it in. They are, you know, we're witnessing 6 people having their minds blown right now as we speak. But the booster is heading on down, and it will beat the capsule back to Earth. The booster, of course, has a controlled landing on a landing pad just 2 miles north of where it's taken off from. The capsule, less aerodynamically shaped, will land second under 3 parachutes in our landing zone in our valley in West Texas. So far, a nominal flight of our 26th mission to space and back of the New Shepard vehicle plus our 8th human spaceflight.
Congratulations truly to all 6 of our astronauts today. Oh, I'm sorry, our crew who officially have become astronauts.
That's right.
Massive congratulations.
Over the Kármán line.
Phoenix, report status is Peak 436. Phoenix, report status.
Phoenix, 4, 5, and 6 are in. Hey, you can tell them that everyone's in.
Copy all astronauts.
All 6 astronauts are back in their seat and the booster is screaming on home.
Yeah, as we mentioned, that booster is going to return to Earth a lot faster than the capsule because of the aerodynamic nature of the crew capsule.
It's coming back through the clouds.
That's a sweet view of the booster as it's coming back through the atmosphere here.
So we see the drag brakes have been deployed.
There's the relight of that BE-3 engine. That gorgeous hover above the landing pad.
Team touchdown. Sequence started.
And booster touchdown, a successful touchdown of the booster for the NS-26 mission. Always a sight to see.
Always a sight to see. I mean, it's been going thousands of miles per hour, and then it comes in landing. You see it just kind of hovers there at 5 miles an hour. It's such a smooth descent, and landing. And as a reminder to people, this is so critical to the reusability, because the smoother the landing, the less you jostle the rocket, the less you have to refurbish the rocket, the more uses you can get out of the rocket.
Absolutely, and some really cool things here, right? Like those fins you were talking about earlier, our lessons learned with guiding this vehicle back are going to be applied to our next big vehicle, New Glenn. So again, just so many lessons learned from this booster every single mission.
Every single mission. Now, the crew capsule is obviously also coming back down to land here. We are going to have first the drogue parachutes that come out. Those are kind of like the guide parachutes. Then we're going to see the mains. They will reef, so they're going to kind of go out just a little bit, and then they fully inflate. And talk about cutting speed. You can already see the speed on the screen there. It comes in at just like 15, 16 miles an hour for nice. There she is.
And again, these parachutes, both the drogues and the mains, are essential in providing a gentle touchdown for the capsule. But as we get closer to the ground here, you're going to see a retro thrust system on the base of the capsule, which does kick up a bit of West Texas dust, but it makes for an even smoother touchdown than, again, like you said, the already slow speed that the capsule is descending at now. We're just 400 feet away from touchdown. Again, stay tuned for that retro thrust system here. And crew capsule touchdown. Welcome home to the newest 6 astronauts, the Blue Steel team. Once more, what appears to be a completely smooth flight for New Shepard. Our booster touching down at the landing pad, and a soft landing for our latest crew.
Just a beautiful flight.